Hello and welcome back to the channel. Thanks for stopping by for yet another video. I do appreciate that. Um, Here we go. We got an update to Hurricane Jose here real quick that there's an updated path and whatnot. So I wanted to share that with you guys yet again. Like I said, I'm going to do my best to keep you guys updated on all happenings, weather related, natural disasters or whatnot. That's what this channel is about. So if I post multiple videos on one topic, like all these hurricanes and whatnot, it's just because this is what the channel's about, and I try to keep you updated every day on what's going on. So, with that said, I appreciate every single one of you. I hope you continue to support the channel, to continue to watch the videos, um, because I do appreciate that, and I just wanted to say thanks. And so let's get into this article real quick, though. It says an update on Hurricane Jose and the next threat behind it. The Atlantic remains hot with Jose Lee and the season's 15th tropical cyclone, which honestly, it's probably going to turn into Maria. Here's very soon, Tropical Cyclone Maria. And he's actually right here is ahead of Lee, even though we keep talking about Lee. This storm here, which is Cyclone 15 right now, is going to turn into Tropical Storm Maria and probably Hurricane Maria. So we need to keep an eye on both of these storms right here. And then Jose, we're talking about right now. And it says, despite the comings and goings of two major hurricanes that affected the United States during the last month, Harvey and Irma, we remain in the midst of a very active Atlantic hurricane season that may not be done with us just yet. Not only must the U.S. East Coast keep an eye on Hurricane Jose as it finally begins moving towards, but another threat lurks behind it. This post will review the three active Atlantic storms and their potential effects on the Caribbean islands and the United States during the coming days and weeks. So the latest on Jose is it has meandered around the Atlantic for more than 10 days, but is now finding the steering currents that will carry it towards its dissipation or transition to an extra tropical cyclone. Here is the latest forecast from the National Hurricane Center published at 11 a.m. this morning. So this was just published an hour ago. It says, note, the cone contains the probable path of the storm that does not show the size of the storm. Hazardous conditions can occur outside the cone. So basically what it's saying is this is where they believe the track of the storm could push it. So anywhere within this cone. So as you can see, for the most part, for those of us here in the U.S., it's looking more and more like, good news, if you will, compared to the other hurricanes and storms we've been dealing with lately. It looks like it is going to brush possibly just the East Coast, barely. It's going to hit parts of Connecticut, Maryland, just barely into New Hampshire and Delaware, it looks like. So, for the most part, it looks like as far as weather related, we might see just some heavy winds, some rains on the East Coast there. I think they're more concerned right now about the rip tides and rip currents, so keep posting on those as well, because that's what they are actually more concerned about right now with Jose. I think more than anything else, it is those rip tides and rip currents that are possible, and they're very deadly. So keep posting on that too. It says there remains a pretty good agreement in track of Jose around Tuesday as it traces the western edge of the high pressure system covered over the Atlantic. If Jose were to continue moving north at this point, we might be concerned about the storm moving into the Long Island, Newport, Rhode Island, or Cape Cod area. However, later on Tuesday or Wednesday, most of the model guidance and assemblies show Jose getting picked up by the mid-latitude westerlies and pushed away from the United States. So we got to keep an eye on Jose, but it's looking more and more like good news for us. I mean, like I said, compared to the last storms we've been dealing with. Now, much like its namesake, our beloved editor Lee Hutchison, Tropical Storm Lee, is going to be a weak, low-energy system. It may strengthen a little over the next couple of days, but it's of no threat to land during that time. After that time, all the model guidance suggests wind shear is going to eat its lunch, kind of like bullies used to beat up Lee and this month is lunch money, or so we've been told. So Lee, they're predicting now Lee's not going to be much of a storm. Even if it strengthens, it's going to get tore down before it reaches for land. But now Cyclone 15, which is potentially Tropical Storm Maria, Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for another developing tropical storm. The season's 15th storm is likely to move across the Leeward Islands early next week and threaten Puerto Rico and then Hispaniola by Tuesday or Wednesday. Here's a look at the 10-day forecast from the European model ensemble members for this system. Now, this is potentially Hurricane Tropical Storm Maria here. Now, Lee sounded like good news, like it's going to get beat up by the winds and it's going to get tore down, not going to be the most powerful storms. So before it hits land, it's supposed to be beat up, if you will. Now, Maria, well, tropical storm, potential tropical storm 15, Maria. As you can see, it's looking like it's the Leeward Islands, the Caribbean, possibly Florida, even areas that don't need another major storm. So we're gonna have to watch out for this, obviously, over the next week or so before we actually know where exactly it's going to go. But if it does goes towards the Leeward Islands, the Caribbean, Dominican Republic, all that, they've just been beat. Barbuda, they don't need another major storm like this. But it says, alas, wind shear is relatively low along the storm's projected path over the next 5 days, so it's going to strengthen over the next 5 days. Moreover, the sea surface temperatures in this area are quite warm. So there should be little to inhibit intensification of the storm. Conservatively, I think the National Hurricane Center has it as a Category 1 hurricane with 90-mile-an-hour winds by Thursday morning near Puerto Rico. It has the potential to be considerably stronger than that. So they are already predicting that it's going to turn into Hurricane Maria. It's going to be at least a Hurricane Category 1. Long term, it's too early to say the weather if this storm is threatening the Bahamas, Florida, or parts of the U.S. East Coast, but given the way the storms have intensified this summer, people in those areas probably should be keeping up. So, especially the Leeward Islands, Caribbean, Dominican Republic, Barbuda, all those islands out there, need to definitely be watching out for this. They've experienced Irma already, and, Maria's not going to be, just a regular, normal storm to want to be dealing with as well. It seems like it's going to intensify into a pretty powerful storm. They're predicting a Category 1, but, with the warm waters, no real wind shear to knock this storm back, if you will. I'm going to guess that it's going to strengthen to more than just a Category 1. So we're going to have to keep an eye on it, obviously. Still, at least a week away, but Maria is the one that's worrying me the most because it's headed towards the Leeward Islands and the Caribbean and Florida even possibly, and we just don't need that kind of storm, hitting us anywhere around the U.S. right now. I think we're going to dodge a bullet for the most part with Jose and with Lee, but we're going to have to watch out here for Tropical Storm / Hurricane Maria. So I just want to get you an update on that. More so to be on the watch for Maria, because and to update Jose. So Jose's looking pretty good. Looks like we're just going to get some rain. Mostly it's going to be the dangerous rip currents and rip tides we need to worry about in the East Coast. But now we got to worry about Maria. Lee maybe not so much. Well, I'll keep an eye on out for that one as well for you. I'm sorry. But again, I appreciate every single one of you. Be sure to share, like, comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't already. And always turn on that bell notification so you do get my videos as soon as they're uploaded. I put up at least one video a day. Some days I put up 2 or 3. But again, I appreciate you for supporting the channel and watching these videos. I hope you have a blessed day. Peace.